fucking been chasing a Misfire for about a month now. New leads, new plugs, new fuel filter, clean TPS, all of that. The map sensor down here too. It's all just improved the Mis, but nothing has actually fixed it. So gonna go around, bench test this, and fucking see how we get on, because yeah, it's just a fucking pain in the ass, because it's not constant misfire. But if I was to go like this, and then the throttle body was to slowly open like that, it'd be all good. But as soon as there's like a blip, it will miss. So I gathered that it's possibly advancing spark. So advancing spark would be this, or now if we can see that down in there's also a knock sensor that comes off the same loom that this plugs into, and there's a chance that that could just be heat soaked. But yeah, just testing everything one at a time, test until we find something that fucking fixes or helps. And when you're testing them, you want to test the plug and each tower. So you go to your plug, and that far right pin there is your 12 volt. Then you got trigger 1, which is for tower 1 and 6. Then you got trigger 2, which is for 2 and 5. And then you got trigger 3, which is for 3 and 4. And then, so you'll do that just doing ohm test for resistance. You should be looking at about 0.3 to 0.5 ohms. And then you'll do, when you're testing the towers, you'll just get contact on both of those. Do 2 at a time, so that one and that one. And you should be getting around about 10 to 15 ohms. There it is. Oh, period.
That's where the rear firewall's going to come to, Jake. Right to here.
Right there. Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that. That's perfect, though. Come here.
A little bit of carbon tracking. It's healthy, so it could be leaking spark out of here, which would cause it to arc off the body, and then which would cause a misfire. So taped all the fucking seam to see if that improves anything. If that somewhat improves or gets rid of the mist, that's how I know it's the casing leaking and arcing down off the body. But at the moment, I'm going to take all this off so I can get to the loom easier, and I'm going to try and reroute the coil pack somewhere else so it's easier to access instead of having to try and work on it under there. But I'm gonna set up the gazebo first and get some lights and stuff sorted so I can see and have some shelter. Throttle body off. Now I've got to get this top part of the mani off, and then try to get the fuel rail out and take all the vacuum and shit out too. So sweet. injector rails out, half the manifolds out, but started raining. Just trying to sort the loom out and figure out a spot to do the relocation for the coil pack, but slowly getting there. Coil pack relocated, so it's all mean. I've cut the 4 wires for the plug and then the noise suppression, and that knock sensor's just there, but that goes down. So we got this to plug in, that's the noise suppression, and we got this, just gotta add another plug onto there, and then that's for the coil pack. Sweet. Got the loom mocked up in there, intake manifold just sitting. Need to put the return and the feed line back onto the fuel rail, which is just down in here, right there. But yeah, do that. Need to go get some hose clamps though, fucking forgot some. Got all the TPS, idle air control valve, each injector. There's a plug that'll go to here, which will go to the coil pack there. Fuel rail back in, all the injectors. Loom should be all plugged in underneath. We'll find that out pretty quickly, but need to I can zip tie this open, get all this manifold back on, get the actuator for this valve back on. But other than that, it's all good. Manifold's pretty much bolted in now. Just got a couple bolts left, that one, and the one down there. All the injectors are in, pretty sure everything's plugged in. You just need to plug that, and then yeah, a little bit messy, these wires and stuff, but everything's plugged back in. So let's see if we've got a miss or if it's improved or what's happening now. Everything's all good so far. So far so good. So all of that's stable. Still misfiring. Maybe idle down. Maybe not. Yeah. And there's the mess. There's a miss with like a sharp blip, but then it clears. So at this point I've just narrowed it down to fuel pressure, so could look at getting a new pump, maybe run an external one in the boot. But other than that, still goes alright, still skids. mentioned to me when you run your tank dry out of gas, it will suck all the shit in the bottom of the tank, which makes sense. But the mist started a few days after that had happened, so I feel like that may be the issue. So whether the sock on the fuel pump is cooked or the fuel pump itself. But then if the fuel pump itself was shit, it wouldn't run, but it runs. So my next guess is possibly the sock on the fuel pump, or just have to run. I'm looking at maybe running an external pump in the boot, and make up a little thing for that, so then it saves having to drop the fuel tank every time I want to change the fuel pump. But anyway, I'll try to keep all this shit updated and see how we get on. Ciao.